What's up, Poland? News and stories about Poland. And this is the disturbing news that a Polish soldier appears to have defected from Poland to Belarus. A soldier from the 11th Artillery Regiment went missing a few days ago. A search was launched for him, and the soldier, identified as Emil Chechko, has now appeared on Belarusian news services, making wild and fanciful claims that apparently the Polish armed forces and soldiers stationed along the border have been shooting immigrants and either burying their bodies or allowing their bodies to be torn apart by wolves. Well, I've seen a lot of comments on the internet from people about this particular individual. We don't know the circumstances. Obviously, the full story is not there. Some people have been saying, you know, this guy's a traitor. And the Poles have a pretty well-established history of what they do with traitors who go over to the other side. I'll let you guess what that might be. Other people are saying, listen, we don't know exactly what's going on here. But clearly this soldier who claims that he dumped his uniform in the forest because he was so ashamed about being a Polish soldier, then appeared in a Polish uniform on Belarusian TV. He must have magically, I mean, it's not a shape-shifting thing, but he must have magically somehow been given a pair of clothes. I don't know. You could just imagine that it might be worth it, because if he had turned up in a t-shirt and shorts, it probably wouldn't have the same effect. Apparently, has been announced that he had some legal issues, which he perhaps might have been trying to escape from. This isn't a situation without precedent. There were even American soldiers. There was one American soldier who left the lines of his base in Afghanistan and walked out into the wild and was captured by the Taliban. Fortunately, he was returned, fortunately for him at least, although in the rescue effort, I believe that some US soldiers did actually die, so not without incident. So it isn't unheard of for people to desert. It's a common thing that happens in any conflict of any type. People walk across the wire for whatever reason. We don't know the full story of this particular individual. I have to say, a little part of me felt sickened watching him say those kind of things. There have been incidents recorded recently of the Polish armed forces allegedly being pretty rough on people who are legally crossing the border, but that's what territorial integrity actually looks like. Shooting them, leaving them to be eaten by wolves in the forest, sounds like something you might have got from Stalinist Russia. Doesn't sound like something that you get from a NATO member. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Because that which can be stated without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. So I'm gonna go with those group of people at the first. You know, let's make sure that this chap doesn't come back to the country, because he should be prosecuted and he should be treated with the full severity of the law reserved for that particular type of crime. On the other hand, let's also reserve judgment, not get too excited about it, because ultimately Poland has been pretty clear about what it's doing, and it's been pretty clear about its ability and its willingness to defend the integrity of its borders. And in that, it has been supported recently by Estonian as well as British troops. So we wish all the armed forces who are actually there to help, to support people, the best of luck. I'll see you again for another episode of What's Up Poland.